Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB from the UPSC CSC prelims perspective. Displayed a list of articles which we are going to discuss from today's newspaper. The first article says that the Deputy Chief Minister and Bengaluru Development Minister D.K. Shivakumar appeared before the Lokayukta police for questioning in the disproportionate assets case against him. In this context, let us talk about Lokayuktas. So, the Lokayukta is the Indian Parliamentary Ombudsman who executed into power through and for each of the state governments of India. Know that it is an anti-corruption authority. Significantly, the object of Lokayukta system in a state is to make an investigation of grievances, allegations against the public servants. Now, if we have to trace its origin, see, the origin of Lokayukta can be drawn to the ombudsman in the Scandinavian countries. Further, in India, the Administrative Reforms Commission of the 1966 to 1970 had recommended the creation of the Lokpal at the center and Lokayukta in the states. Notably, before passing the Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act in the year 2013, several states in India passed the laws for creating the institution of Lokayukta. Remember that the Maharashtra was the first in this respect, with its Lokayukta body established in the year 1971. Now, if we have to talk about the appointment, the Lokayukta and the Upalokayukta are appointed by the governor of the state. Further, while appointing, the governor is in most of the states consults the Chief Justice of the State High Court and the leader of opposition in the State Legislative Assembly. With respect to the tenure, in most of the cases, the term of office is fixed for Lokayukta is of 5 years duration or 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. Note that he is not eligible for reappointment for a second term. The next article says that following the disasters inflicted by overflowing glacial lakes in the Himalayas, the National Disaster Management Authority has finalized a list of 189 high-risk glacial lakes for mitigation measures to reduce the risk emanating from them. In this context, let us talk about glacial lakes. See, glacial lakes are formed in depressions on glaciers or in moraines left by retreating glaciers. Further, they take shape as glaciers carve out of the landscape through erosion and then melt, filling the depressions formed by their movement. Now, if we have to talk about the categorization, glacial lakes are classified into 4 main types based on their formation process, which are moraine dammed, ice dammed, erosion, and other glacial lakes. Then looking at their formation, see, glacial lakes originate from the accumulation of meltwater resulting from glacier ice melting. Further, as glaciers move, they carve depressions in the landscape which may fill with water over time. Then, when the glaciers retreat, they leave behind moraines acting as natural dams that trap the meltwater and create lakes. So recently, ISRO highlighted the significant expansion of the Gepang Ghat glacial lake in Himachal Pradesh, showing a 178% increase in size between 1989 and 2022. Significantly, this case study exemplifies the rate of growth of glacial lakes in the region, with the lake expanding at approximately 1.96 hectares per year. Some of the examples of glacial lakes are Deosai National Park in Jammu and Kashmir, Hemakund Lake in Uttarakhand, and Surajtal in Himachal Pradesh. The next article says that ahead of the nationwide implementation of Digital General Crop Estimation Survey, in short called the DGCES, the centre convened a national conference with the states to discuss the improvement in the crop production statistics. In this context, let us talk about it. See, the Digital General Corporation Estimation Survey, in short called the DGCES, is a nationwide initiative aimed at precisely assessing crop yields across a variety of crops. Notably, this program utilizes a meticulously crafted survey methodology rooted in the principles of crop cutting experiments. Further, Digital General Crop Estimation Survey has been created to calculate yield based on scientifically designed crop cutting experiments for all major crops across the country. So, it will provide plot level data with geotagged areas of crops and acts as a single source of truth. Significantly, these initiatives are expected to provide a near real-time and reliable data directed from the field, which enables more precise estimations of crop production. Remember that the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare is the implementing agency. The next article says that the wedge between the headline and food inflation has been widening and stalling the alignment of the former with the target, according to the RBI Deputy Governor. In this context, let us talk about the headline and core inflation. Firstly, if we talk about the headline inflation, it is the measure of the total inflation within an economy. Know that it includes a price rise in food, fuel, and all other commodities. Notably, the inflation rate expressed in wholesale price index, in short called the WPI, usually denotes the headline inflation. Now, moving on to talk about the core inflation, it is also called underlying inflation or non-food inflation. See, it is a concept derived from headline inflation only. So, core inflation is the change in the costs of goods and services, but does not include those from the food and energy sectors. Know that this measure of inflation excludes these items because their prices are much more volatile. Notably, it is most often calculated using consumer price index, which is a measure of the prices for goods and services. In simple words, we can say that core inflation equals to headline inflation minus the food and fuel inflation. The next article says that the private sector activity levels likely eased for the second successive month, with new factory orders rising at the slowest pace since February and goods prices being raised at the highest rate in 11 years, as per the initial indicators from a private survey of purchasing managers. In this context, let us talk about it. So, what is Purchasing Managers Index? See, it is a survey-based measure that asks the respondents about the changes in their perception about key business variables as compared with the previous month. Significantly, the purpose of PMI is to provide information about current and future business conditions to company decision makers, analysts, and investors. Further, there are two types of PMI, which are manufacturing PMI and services PMI. So, it is calculated separately for the manufacturing services sectors, and then a composite index is also constructed. Know that the PMI is a number from 0 to 100. And a print above 50 means expansion, while a score below 50 denotes contraction. Then a reading at 50 indicates no change. Know that if PMI of the previous month is higher than the PMI of the current month, it represents that the economy is contracting. Usually it is released at the start of every month, so it is therefore considered a good leading indicator of economic activity. Remember that PMI is compiled by IHS market for more than 40 economies worldwide. Further, this IHS market is a global leader in information, analytics, and solutions for the major industries and markets that drive economies worldwide. Know that it is part of S&P Global. The next article says that the National Green Tribunal has imposed a whopping 1,000 crore penalty on the Punjab government for persistent defiance and non-compliance of environment laws with regard to solid and liquid waste management. In this context, let us talk about it. See, the National Green Tribunal is a statutory body established under the National Green Tribunal Act of 2010. Significantly, it serves a specialized environmental tribunal in India with the primary aim of providing effective and expeditious disposal of cases relating to environmental protection, conservation of forests and other natural resources, and the enforcement of legal rights pertaining to the environment. Further, the tribunal has jurisdiction over all civil cases involving substantial question relating to environment, including enforcement of any legal right relating to environment. In general, the NGT flows from the right to a healthy environment as a fundamental aspect of the right to life under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Notably, the tribunal shall not be bound by procedure laid down by under the Code of Criminal Procedure of 1908, but shall be guided by the principles of natural justice. Know that the National Green Tribunal is headed by a chairperson who is a retired judge of Supreme Court of India. Now, if we have to talk about the appointment of the members of NGT, the chairperson is appointed by the central government in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. Next, the judicial members and the expert members are appointed by a selection committee that shall be formed by the central government for the same purpose. Now, what do you think is the tenure of the members of NGT? See, the chairperson and the judicial and the expert members shall hold office for a term of 5 years or till the 65 years, whichever is earlier. Further, the chairperson and the judicial expert members are not eligible for reappointment. Then the NGT by an order can provide firstly the relief and compensation to the victims of pollution and other environmental damage, including accident occurring while handling any hazardous substance. Then for the restitution of property damaged, and lastly for the restitution of the environment for such an area or areas as the tribunal may think fit. Significantly, the National Green Tribunal exercises jurisdiction over cases relating to various environmental laws, including the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1974, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1981, the Environmental Protection Act of 1986, the Forest Conservation Act of 1980, and the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. The last article of the day says that in the first edition of Rashtriya Vigyan Purusar, in short called the RVP, 33 awards were presented to the distinguished scientists in 4 categories, which are Vigyan Ratna, Vigyan Shri, Vigyan Yuva, and Vigyan Team. Know that the awards will be presented on 23rd August, first National Space Day, celebrating the milestone of Chandrayaan 3's moon landing. In this context, let us talk about the same. See, the RVP is a prestigious set of awards that recognize and encourage significant achievements by scientists, technologists, and innovators of Indian origin, including the persons of Indian origin, whether working in India or abroad. Notably, these awards honor the individuals who have made distinguished contributions through impactful research, innovation, or discovery that benefits Indian communities or society. Know that the RVP is being introduced for the first time in the year 2024. Significantly, it was established to replace the existing science awards, including the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, to provide a more inclusive and updated recognition system. Remember that these awards shall be announced on 11th May, which is on the National Technology Day every year, but the award ceremony for all the categories of awards will be held on National Space Day. Further, the RVP is awarded on various categories such as physical sciences, chemical sciences, biological sciences, mathematical sciences, earth and atmospheric sciences, and engineering sciences. Now, if we have to talk about various categories of the awards, the first category is Vigyan Ratna, which honors lifetime achievements and substantial contributions in any field of science and technology. Distinguished scientists and technologists with a career of significant achievements are eligible for this award. Know that it was awarded to G. Padmanabhan, who is recognized for his lifetime achievements in biological sciences, particularly for his award on Mariliya parasites. The second category is Vigyan Shri, which recognizes distinguished contributions in any field of science and technology. For this category, individuals with notable achievements in their respective scientific or technological domains are eligible. This award was presented to Annapurni Subramaniam for the formation and evolution of star clusters in galaxy, Jayant Balachandra Adgaonkar for biology, and Naba Kumar Mondal for particle physics. Then the next category is Vigyan Yuva Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, which in short called the VYSSB, which recognizes and encourages young scientists under 45 years of age who has made exceptional contributions. Know that young scientists who have demonstrated exceptional research or innovation are eligible for this award. It was presented to Vivek Polshettivar for carbon capture technologies, Urbasi Sinha for quantum research, and Roxy Matthew Cole for climate science. The last category is Vigyan Team, which awards a team of 3 or 4 scientists, researchers, or innovators for the exceptional collaborative contributions. So, the teams with outstanding achievements in any field of science and technology are eligible for this award. Know that Chandrayaan 3 team, which landed India's first spacecraft on the moon last year, has been honored with the Vigyan Team Award. So, we have discussed 7 articles in total for today from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Thank you.